Hi, and welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca, and I am so excited that you're here today. We're making a Mantel-Worthy Christmas card. It's a fun fold card. It looks really fancy, it looks really complicated, but you know what? It really is not, and I'm excited to just break that down into easy steps for you. And really, you don't need that many supplies. You're gonna need some black ink, some colors of cardstock that match your designer series paper choice, and then two greetings, one for the inside, one for the outside. So let's get started. So here's our beautiful card. I'm so excited about it. I'm excited because it looks really impressive, but it is so simple, and I'm excited to show you. So you take off the belly band to open up the card to this great greeting. It opens up wide like this and stands up on somebody's desk or their mantle. I love that die cut that is extending out there, and these papers are gorgeous, of course. Now, if you're about to turn me off because you're like, Julie, I do not do all this paper cutting and all this gluing, I've got a tip to make it quicker. One, for cutting your paper, I've got a tip, but also if you're not one who likes to do a lot of layers, and I'm usually not, but I do like how this looks, you can omit this layer and just cut your designer series paper to be this length. So use the measurements for the cardstock layer for the designer series paper and just glue them right to the card base. Now, one reason why I like to have lots of layers, it makes your card nice and stiff. And if you're gonna give a really nice Christmas card for somebody to stand up on their mantle, you want it to be nice and weighty, and it's not going to cost any more to send it, well, depending on how many layers you put on there, but it's just like a nice, sturdy, high quality card, and I want to show you this. So the stamp set I'm using is this Christmas classic. So I'm using the bundle, the stamp and die bundle, and I just absolutely love it. It is just a really classic Christmas words, and just the holly and the berries. Very, very simple. But then it's got the die set that cuts out all the things in the stamp set, but it's got some amazing intricate things that we are going to use. I mean, don't you just love that? It's beautiful, but like very little work. I'm all about like make it look pretty, but let's do this thing. Let's get this done fast. And so this set is great for that. And we are only going to use 4 pieces. So we're going to use these two really intricate ones, and then the sentiments that go inside. So let's go ahead and cut those out. But you can see how many other pieces, if you're someone who likes to add a lot of pieces, man, there are pieces in this thing. So we're just going to run these pieces through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You can pick out whatever color is going to match your designer series paper to be the color of those greetings. All that cracking and popping, that's normal. When I first got my machine, I'm like, oh my gosh, I broke it. No, those are normal things. Now for this one, if the die sticks on the paper like this, I actually really like it, because then I can go through and just poke out the empty spots in the die while it's still stuck on there. It just makes it really easy. And sometimes you don't need to do that. Sometimes they just fall out. And then just keeping it in the die just gives it a little more stability when you're dealing with delicate dies. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now this one has so much going on that I'm going to run it through the machine by itself, so that there's nothing else inhibiting it. It's just got some delicate pieces, and I'm going to run it forward and backward just to make sure I really get it good. Whoop, I got to run it all the way out. And then we're going to do the same thing. If it stays stuck to your paper, if not, you can kind of pinch it together, and we'll just make sure we can kind of get those little pieces. There aren't that many that are there. And then you're just going to peel this back, just being really slow and methodical about it so that you don't rip any of those little pieces. And then you'll just want to go back through with a toothpick or take your pick tool and just get out any of the pieces of paper that are still stuck in there. So like this, just real quickly. I kind of find this fun. So now we're going to go ahead and stamp on these. You definitely could have stamped on them beforehand, but just pick out what you want. And you can see there are so many different combinations, but I'm just going to use this Season's Greetings. And I'm just choosing, just to keep the supplies down on this project, just to use black ink, but you can go crazy with some other colors if you want. I love the cursive of these. And then pick one of these larger ones to go in the square here. I'm going to use Peace on Earth. And I'm just trying to center that up on my block. There, isn't that beautiful? Now we'll add these at the end, but before we do anything, I want to add some Wink of Stella. It is, I mean, this is a fancy Christmas card to go on somebody's mantle. And so I just want to add some little bit of glitter on here. And this comes in a paint pen, and you just squeeze it out gently. And I'm just going to put it on the berries here. So this doesn't take that long to do, but I think it's kind of an important step just to make that just a little bit fancy. And then we'll just set that aside to dry, and we'll add it at the end. I guess I should have shown you what designer series paper I'm using. I'm using the Joy of Christmas, and it just seems like a really classic Christmas one, but you can make this card with any designer series paper combo, and it doesn't need to be Christmas either. So, but we're going to choose this one right here. This is my favorite piece, and so I'm going to use this one. Now we're going to cut all the panels first, but I want to show you when you are cutting a lot of pieces, look at your measurements and see what those measurements have in common. Like for this designer series paper, all the designer series paper pieces have a 3 3/4 as one of the measurements. So I am going to cut my paper. Oh, I bumped the camera. Sorry. I'm going to cut my paper at 3 3/4, just like that. And now I'm going to be able to quickly chop this at the other measurements. Now, all of the measurements for this project are over on my website. I have a blog post that goes directly from this video. There's a link in the description that'll take you over there to get the measurements. My email subscribers will get this print and make project sheet where I've got the written instructions, and you can scan this to go to the blog post to see more photos and stuff like that. But I like to have this printed out so it's right by me when I'm working. So now that I've got this cut at the measurement, now I'm just going to quickly cut all the panels. Now you can see the way this paper goes together, that you have an opportunity to show off a bunch of different papers if you want, or if you don't like the back of the double-sided paper, you can pull in another piece of designer series paper that you want to go with it. And so this makes it really easy if you're making multiples of these, which I always make multiples. So go ahead and slice yourself off another 3 3/4 strip, and then you can use this as an accent piece for all the rest of the cards that you're making. One thing you weren't seeing me doing off camera was placing these together. I want to keep these measurements together. This is for the front of my card. Now this is for the inside. This is also for the inside, but it's a little narrower. I'm going to keep those together, and then this one centerpiece, because now we're going to cut the cardstock layers, and I want to match them up. It's just going to save time, so I'm not having to figure that out later. Now all the cardstock pieces are at 4 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and slice that off before I go cutting all the rest of these. So now these pieces match these pieces. I'm going to keep them together so that when I go to glue them, I don't have to go matching everything. I'm forgetting if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Make sure you plan out what papers you want where, so that when you go to glue them, you don't accidentally glue the wrong side down. And I kind of lay mine out. This is on the front. This is on the front of the card, and these are in the middle, and this is the way they're going to be in the middle, as far as the large one, medium one, small one. So now we're just going to put this in fast motion and glue all these down. I like to do them on my silicone craft mat so that if any glue just squirts out, it doesn't get on my work surface and it keeps it nice and tidy. There you go. Now set all your panels off to the side and we will build the card base. So the card base is just an 11 by 4 1/4. So you're going to be able to get 2 cards out of 1 piece of cardstock. And you can score this in your paper trimmer, but when I'm making a lot of cards that have several scoring, this is definitely faster. So we're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5, 6, and 8 1/4. So now I just fold on the score lines, and I don't pay attention right now to which way it should be folding. We'll figure that out later. It's just fold on all the score lines and burnish them really well. And now what you want to do is this middle section, that is the middle of your card, and you want that sticking out. So go ahead and make sure that those are folded in the way so that this is going to stick out like this. And then the rest of the card goes down like that. So we're gonna just fold it that way. So you've got it, it's gonna look like this or like this. Now you're just gonna adhere all your panels onto the card. I definitely suggest laying out all your panels on your card first so that you don't accidentally glue them in the wrong order. Don't ask me how I know this, but and then once you have the ones in the center done, fold this and add the panels to the front. So now we want to build our belly band or make the belly band. So you're just going to take a strip of paper and you could wrap it around, but you don't want to fold it. So this is why I like to condition my strip of paper first, just by holding it between my fingers and my bone folder. And that will give it a nice curve, which is going to condition it in the way we want it to go ahead of time so we don't have to crease it. And so now you're just going to wrap it around your card. Now it is not going to fit. Don't worry, because this is where our greeting is going to go. So then we're going to put this right on top. Now, if you're making this with a different stamp and die set than I'm using here, and it doesn't have this shape, go ahead and cut yourself a shape that is 1 inch wide, because that's the width of the belly band, so that you can close this belly band. So now you're going to grab the greeting that goes with this and add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back, because that's just going to pop it up off of that off of this die cut. It's just going to give it that one more little extra something that is going to look so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And that little wink of Stella. I hope you can see that. See how it just adds that little bit of glitter, and the Stampin' Dimensionals just pop that up just a little bit, and then they're going to open the card. And now we need to do the wow on the inside, which is this super gorgeous this on the inside. Now you can switch these, put this on the inside and then on the outside. I have an example for that. Or if you love this piece, put this on the outside and on the inside. I don't see any problem with that. And now what you're going to do is just put a little bit of glue right in the middle and then lay this on top and then just wait there for it to get stuck on there. And now take the piece that's going to go inside there and put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that thing and put that right in the center. Isn't that just so impressive? And wasn't that so easy? Let me show you the other ones that I made using the same pack of Designer Series paper. So there's this one from the beginning. These are very similar ones. Then here's using the plaid from that Designer Series paper with a red base. And then this one, I actually used the very vanilla as the card base. And I thought, deck the halls, that's perfect, because this kind of looks like doors that are opening, the wood Designer Series paper. And this is all from that same paper pack. October 30th is the last day to get a hold of that 35th anniversary starter kit deal that Stampin' Up! Is offering. It is awesome. And if you are someone who buys paper crafting supplies a lot, man, join. I would love to have you on my team. There's no reason to pay full price when you can get 20% off everything, and then that starter kit deal is awesome. There's a link in my description for the information on that, or leave a comment, reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and come back here every Thursday afternoon for a new video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a sunny day.